Medical disclaimer. This video is for informational purposes. It does not replace the medical advice of a trained doctor. Seek medical advice before beginning any treatment plan. Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Guess what? I can finally do this. I think this is video 4, and I finally have a glucose reading. I'm 11.3, which is actually fairly good. Positive energy. I'm feeling okay. I was feeling a little rough earlier today, but we made it through. Which kind of leads me into today's chat. And my chat today is saying I really wasn't that sick. When I got diagnosed with diabetes, I was kind of like just admitted to the hospital. There was no rush, no urgency. When I take a look at other diagnosis videos, especially from people my age who were diagnosed around the same time, they were all rushed into ICU, and I was just put into a regular ward. I never got to the point where I had started to throw up. All I was doing was drinking a lot and going to the bathroom. And I think that is because my mother was on the ball. She knew what symptoms to look out for. I don't know how she learned it. I never really asked her. But I can remember pretty much all the latter part of September just being thirsty. Like, there's an old Boy Scout skit where they keep crawling on the floor or whatever, going and say, "Water, water, I need water." And a few of them simulate dying, but and one person gets water and dips his comb in it and combs his hair. But, I was so thirsty it wasn't funny. And I had lost a lot of weight. My body was in DKA, but it wasn't in super crazy DKA. And DKA, for those of you who don't know, is diabetic ketoacidosis. It's when your body starts breaking down fat for fuel. It's not getting the glucose it needs, so it uses the fuel. I can remember I was coming home and not making it home because I needed to drink, and then falling asleep. I didn't really notice I was losing the weight, but my mom did. And I can remember my body decided once everything was getting in control, I was going to shoot right up. I ended up being quite tall and quite lengthy for the rest of my classmates at the time. And when I returned to school, people didn't recognize me. Yeah, just a new kid. But I think if I was worse off, things could have been a hell of a lot worse. Since that time, I have gone into DKA numerous times. And usually I get very thirsty. There was one time, and I'll share this story. I was worse off this time than I was when I was diagnosed. And I was thirsty and I needed to pick up some milk. So I went to the doctor, I got a blood test. I walked, I don't know how I did it, but I walked to the chain I worked for and bought a 4-liter milk. I was so thirsty. I opened that up and I drank it. It didn't even make it home, and my home was 10 minutes away. But before I got home, I bought another one. But my doctor called and said, I've called an ambulance. They'll be there shortly. You're to go into emergency. I went in there with a blood sugar of 72.8. And while I was thirsty, and that going in, I really started vomiting then. And I got an IV, and I was put into, was I put in ICU? I was either put in ICU or cardiac care, because I think that, and I spent one night there, and then was put into a regular ward. But I realized how bad ketoacidosis is. Even if you're showing small amount of ketones, you need to get that solved quickly. Now, I know for a fact that insulin will correct ketones, but you need to contact your doctor. Don't just go and say, I'll inject a whole bunch of insulin and I'll feel great. It doesn't work that way. You need to have the plan. Oh my God, not the plan again. You and your doctor need to come out with a plan. What happens if I get sick? What happens if I have ketones? I had a leg infection. I got so delirious. A friend of mine called an ambulance on me. You know, the old diabetic here. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, there's that stupid hair again. That's bugging me more than it's bugging you. There we go. I'll hold it down like that. There we go. But I got a leg infection, and that just drove everything crazy. I ended up being in the hospital over Christmas. But it needed to be done. And I kept going into DKA. And I was really sick. I am so leery about going into DKA all the time. But at first, when I was first diagnosed, I was in DKA, but I think we caught it quick enough. Best part, and I say this is that I could lose weight. And that's not the best way to do it. It was always a plus. Oh, I was in DKA, but I lost 10 pounds. Well, that's great, but it should be used as a tool for weight loss. You are opening yourself up for complications. You're opening up yourself for a shortness of life. So take care. If you feel you are getting into DKA, you're showing large ketones, or if you have a ketone meter, you have a lot of ketones, contact your doctor. Take care of yourself. Have a great day. We'll talk again soon. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.